Okay, this video is going to be about the blues scale. Hopefully by now you should have learnt all your 5 shapes of the pentatonic. So I'm going to show you how you can make another scale just by adding one more note, and that's the blues scale. So the blues scale is the pentatonic scale with one extra note. That's a chromatic passing note. That means that you're going from, if we're doing an A, which we have been doing, the note is in between D and E here. So chromatic means these notes are next to each other. The way I think about it to add our blue note to the pentatonic is there's only 2 ways of playing the pentatonic scale or the blues scale. The first way is where your root note is on the first finger, and the blue note is going to be on the second finger. So the blue note is always located diagonally across the guitar. Here's our A, and the blue note is 1 fret higher and 1 string lower. So we get this shape. The other way of playing that is where your third finger plays the root note, which is in this case A. So we've still got the same diagonal, so 1 string lower down to the ground and 1 fret higher. And we've got this pattern. That covers pretty much everything. We have to make a little exceptions when we get to the B string, but we'll cover those when we get there. Okay, so in our first pattern we had 3 A's. We've got 1 here, 1 here and 1 here. The blue note being diagonally across, so we've got 1 here and then the octave higher here. So all we've got to do is just add that to the pentatonic scale. Okay, next one, all we have to do again is find where the A's are in this scale. We've got 1 here, we've got 1 here. So we already know where the blue note's going to be. This one's on the first finger, so we're going to follow this pattern that we did here, the same. This one is on the third finger, so we're going to follow this pattern. This is on the E string, so when we come to playing down here on the E string, it's going to play the same notes. The same. Okay, so let's do that whole scale in pattern number 2. Just returning to A there, so we're reminding ourselves what key we're in. Incidentally, we'll do some diagrams of this. The red will be our root notes, key notes, A, and we're going to make a blue note in the diagram. It's going to be the blue note, which will be good. Okay, next pattern. Well, let's do the third pattern. So this one is the one where we've got the A on the A string under the third finger, so we can see we've got a blue note here, diagonally, 1 fret higher, 1 string down there. Okay, we've missed out a string. Sorry, we've got another A here, so we're going to play that other shape which we did here. So we've got 1, 4, 1, 2, 3. So that covers 2 of the blue notes. We could also put a blue note here, because obviously that's on the E strings, the same. Okay, so we start from A or G. We're going to be doing this. Blue note here, diagonal. We've got our Eric Clapton shape, and then we're going to go up 1, 2, 3. And then we've got 1, 2, 3 or 3, 2, 1 here. Returning to A. Sorry about that, that's the radiator just twanging there. Okay, next pattern, number 4. Here's our A again. We've got one here. We've got one here. We can easily cover the blue note here, the same as this. However, when we get to A on the G string, the next string down is the B string. So, as I said before in the pentatonic video, every time you go to the B string, you have to move up 1. So we would be playing this normally. That doesn't sound right, and it isn't right. So we're going to go like this, and then go back for E and G. We have a choice also on this, in this pattern. We could play like this, or we could do this and put the blue note onto the E string. It's up to you really, depending what kind of riff you're playing. Okay, and then down the bottom here, we could, add it at the beginning of the scale. So I like to play this version, and then there's the blue note there, returning to A. So that's our 4th pattern. The 5th pattern, which is either down there or up here. Again, find the A. There's an A there. There's one on the G string, one on the E string. So it's on the 3rd finger, so we're playing this shape, and we've got the Eric Clapton shape, and then again we've got this shift onto the B string. This is what we would normally play. We can't do that because it's be out of tune, so we're going to go shift up 1, which is the same as, and so on. We could just keep going. It's the same pattern. Okay, so that pattern number 5 in its entirety is